If you haven't ever used Google Earth, let me show you one approach that you can use Google Earth for. And this is for a project that's being done in some of our classes for it's a countries project, and they've chosen the continent of Africa. So I opened up Google Earth and I did a new project and I named it Evans Countries of Africa because that's who came to me to talk to me about doing this project. And then she had given me a list of countries that her students were going to be studying in Africa. And the first thing I did was I pulled all the books that we have in our library for those countries. And some of them I don't have countries for. So then I went over to Google Earth and I started just creating a project folder with all the countries in Africa. And since this is Google, of course they're all there. So there's nothing that's been left out. And then I shared it with her. So this is how it looks now that it's been created. And if you want me to show you how to create it, I can do that too. But this was pretty easy. So this is what the globe looks like. And there's Africa staring at us in the face. We can do a couple of things with this. There's a button up here that says slideshow. And I'm going to go ahead and click that. And it's bringing me up to the very first country on her list. Now, the nice thing about Google Earth is that the first country happened to be Algeria, and it's bringing me up some basic information about Algeria. I can use my scroll bar here and come down to get some other information about that country. And then I have photographs, so the kids want to see what their country looks like. Now, this is Algeria, so I'm going to X out of that. This is Algeria. Now, get rid of that. Here's some other options I have down here. I can do inner street view. I'm going to scroll in or scroll out. This is zooming in. And this is what I just love about Google Earth is the zoom feature. Just is mind blowing. Oh my goodness. Let go of that a little bit so it can kind of catch up. Okay. I can use my mouse to move around and see some things. I can click 3D and it'll tilt my view around. That's, again, mind-blowing stuff. Zoom in some more. Makes you wonder if you'll be able to see people's eyeballs if I zoom in enough. All right, let it go so it can catch up and come into focus. Okay. Now I can also use the scroll button on my mouse, which is what I'm doing right now. Zoom in and out. Okay. And here are some towns and some cities that are in Algeria. Double click that. And I'm coming in on that. That may be a little bit more interesting to look at than just desert. Again, we can zoom in. I'm just holding it down, and the longer I hold it, the more I zoom. And zoom out. Now, this would be a great tool to use to introduce a new concept. So if you're introducing the project, you can pick a country and just play around with it. Maybe a country that has not been assigned out to any of the students. I can hit resume over here. I'm going to go back to my slideshow, which my slideshow really is all the countries. Now over here, I'm going to go resume. I'm going to click that little arrow right there. And that's going to take me to the next country, which is Angola. Or the next country, which is either Ghana, Togo, any of these. after it turns out it's this one. Now, these little pins, push pins, I can click those. And over here, it brings me the information. I have a link to Wikipedia, which is going to take me to some more information about this country. Again, I've got photographs. I've got just some basic demographic information here. This is just a great way to take a quick tour of the country. See, I'm just clicking this button down here, right over here, table of contents. Okay, here's Burundi. In red is what I'm talking about. Here's the information. A little introduction here, Wikipedia. Just some other demographic information. So there's 53 countries that are listed for her project. And I'm not sure if that's every country in Africa, but I suspect that it is. And some of them are just really tiny. I mean, here's one. Cabo Verde. A series of a little island archipelago. Can't talk. And then I can do a lot of other things with Google Earth just to kind of make it interesting. But it's a great resource, especially when you're focusing on something like countries. And you'll see these yellow dots. Those are all the countries that were on the list that Miss Evans provided me. And I use that to create the project. Now, if I want to create a new project, these are my options up here. I'm going to go to File, move me out of the way, New Drive Project. And let's say I wanted to do one on European countries. Right now it's untitled, so I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to hit Save. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. Now notice there's nothing in here right now. So that's where I got to add my stuff. So let's start out with France. I'm going to hit X on that. Country in Europe. All right. There we go. It's taking me to Europe, to France. Again, the same thing for the African countries. This one has got pictures from France, basic information. Here's another website, and then here's just some demographic information. Now, this is where I'm going to save it to my project. All right, easy done. Now I'm going to go back up to my search box. I'm going to click the X to get rid of France, and then I'm going to type Portugal. Okay. And it's going to take me to Portugal. And I'm going to hit Save to Project over here. And there it is right there. I've saved it. Now, if I had a collaborator, which in this case I did for the Africa project, I'm going to click Share. And I'm going to change the restricted access to Humble ISD. And I'm going to share with the person that I want to share with. In this case, there is nobody, so because this is just playing around. But this is where I would add the email, and then I would just hit share. So that is a nice little introduction into a little bit about what you can do with Google Earth. And I'm real excited to show this to Ms. Evans because I think this is a fun